Hello, Bigfoot enthusiast. Scott here from Squatch America.
And Hannah, domestic goddess, chief cook, and doggy mama inside the paddy wagon tonight. We've got quite a soundtrack with us.
We do what? Yeah, if you're hearing a drone in the background, it's because we're running a generator for power right now. So
we'll catch you up as soon as we come back. But we've got a fun evening tonight.
Yeah, and we're back, and we got a lot to talk about. So
hi, Greg.
Hi, Greg. So let's roll that beautiful bean. Well, hi all. We're coming to you live from
Mayhill.
Mayhill, yes.
Beautiful Mayhill.
Beautiful Mayhill.
New Mexico.
Yes. I tell you what, it looks like spring here, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like tall green grass and trees and forest and
water.
Yeah,
so beautiful.
It's beautiful. In fact, if you just watched Nikki's from Sasquatch Secrets video she just did a few minutes ago, it'll show you what it looks like up here. So hi, Renee.
In Newport again.
In Newport.
I have a hunch, Renee, that Newport is like your heart's happy place.
Yeah.
And Dawn, good to see you.
Hi.
Hey, Dawn. Last we chatted, you were headed back east. Are you still in Rhodesburg, or did you go back to be with your kids?
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
I remember those conversations.
Well,
oddly enough.
Evening, folks. I know it's been about a month, and we were gone for a month, and then we came back and said,
for
welcome back for a night, and then we were gone for a month again. And then for those of you who hadn't heard, on August 6th, my daughter...
August 3rd. Sorry to correct
3rd.
You. August 3rd.
Yeah, my daughter passed away in Pendleton, Oregon. So it took us a while to get things all sorted out.
There was kind of an unexpected interruption.
Yeah, it was kind of set us back a little bit. But moving right along,
we find ourselves in
southern
New Mexico.
Southern New Mexico. That's where we're at. What's the town?
Mayhill.
Mayhill.
That's where we're camping.
That's where we're camping.
We tried to camp in Cloudcroft. That's a horror story for another day.
Yep. So we're going to be here for about a month. We're hanging out with the folks at the Bigfoot Encounter Museum, and we're meeting people up here and taking reports and doing our thing. And it's been a lot of fun. Oh, by the way, I want to thank everybody for your support
during our time of grief.
Yeah, going through that. We really appreciate that, you guys. It meant a lot to us, all the things in the chat that we got and on Facebook. Kind of kept us going, knowing we had, I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds of people that was,
kind of grieving with
us, and it was
it
meant a lot to us.
Yep. So thank you very much.
So, hey, Scott.
So we have in the house, we got Greg and Renee, Dawn, Janice, and the Scott with 2 T's.
Yeah.
And anyone else. If you are watching and not saying anything, just say hi in the chat. We'd love to see who's here and tell you hello.
Yep. So, and don't forget the thumbs up and stuff, because
like, subscribe, share.
Because dun dun dun, we just passed our 3,000 mark.
Yes.
On subscribers.
It is. In fact, I'll tell you exactly what we have tonight. How about that?
Boom, 3,003.
So, you should play the winner chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Go ahead, play it. Play it.
What's the winner chicken dinner?
The winner. Thank you, but play the winner chicken dinner. We are the winners.
Yeah.
And you guys helped us get there. Over 3,000. Where's our play button? I don't think we get a play button
For
till
100,000. So we got a ways to go. So anyway.
There's Sharon from Belgium.
Hi.
Hi, good to see you tonight.
I've actually been to Belgium.
I heard they have nice beaches.
Yep. I didn't get to go to the beach in Belgium. But
I'm sorry. Isn't that where Poirot was from?
yeah, Hercule Poirot.
Hercule Poirot said they don't have any gray cells to rub together.
Yeah.
I know many people with no gray cells to rub together. Cracked was one of my favorite shows. Anyway, all right. So, like we said, we are here in southern New Mexico.
Yep. So what we're working on is trying to get back in the roll of things, basically, which is probably one of the best things to do.
Yep.
So we're going to be spending a month here in the Cloudcroft area. We're going to be going out and doing some squatching, and we also I'm going to be showing you a video a little bit later, and we're going to go investigate that. And then we're also happened upon meeting some wonderful folks from the Mescalero Apache Reservation, which is right over the hill that I'm looking at right over there. Anyway, we're going to...
We've gotten our official invitation onto the res.
Our official invitation onto the res. We're going to be doing some Bigfoot investigating and interviewing with some folks from the reservation. And so we've got a lot of cool videos coming up. We're going to be filming a lot of stuff. We got behind for the last couple months, and so there's that.
And you have just managed to do your whole page.
My whole list. We're done. See you later. Thanks a lot. No.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I tell you what, playing catch up is hard. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, yeah, and we can also say, not only did we have the whole thing with my daughter passing away, the truck also passed away
many times.
Many times after that. We ended up having to...
Did we share what the original, what we thought was the problem, and then what it turned out to be?
What's that?
And how horrible it could have been, but then we fixed it, and then we had more problems on the way down?
Yeah.
Did we share the whole thing?
No, we didn't. We had...
Okay, so start from the beginning. What did we think we needed to have done when we went to Boise right before Kirsten passed?
What was that?
We thought we needed to replace the
ball joints.
That's it.
Yes, because it was shaking a little bit when we were putting brakes on,
or a lot of bit.
So we got, luckily, in Boise, Idaho, we had my son lives there, and he's a fantastic mechanic. That's what he went to school for. He's certified in freaking everything, master certified in everything. And
smarter than everybody on the whole planet. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me. I would not say that.
He's a really good mechanic. Not just because he's my son.
No, he is brilliant in everything. Like he's got all the gray cells.
Yeah.
And he rubs them together all the time.
Yeah. So we got down there, we found out it wasn't a ball joint going out like I suspected.
Or like he suspected.
Yeah. It was the
U joint.
Well, we had a U joint going out really bad. It was about ready to fall out.
Like it was missing all the bolts,
all the pins and the bearings,
and the
yeah. And then one of the steering connecting rods was almost ready to fall off. So that would have been bad.
And Dustin, our son, actually said, "I don't know why I'm not burying you guys."
Yeah. So we
so. Angels watching over us.
Yeah, so we got all that fixed, and then we bolted down here to New Mexico because we had a deadline. We actually
put it off a week because of the events in our family.
Yeah, so we got down here for Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day?
And not Memorial Day, Labor Day weekend. We got here for Labor Day weekend, so we were able to No, I just got distracted. Anyway,
You
so
stop looking at the chat. Oh my
I
god.
know.
So on the way down, all of a sudden the check engine light started coming on,
Yeah.
and the alternator gauge starts freaking out, and the battery light starts coming on, and there's all sorts of freaking out from the driver. And so now what do we get to do tomorrow?
Oh, we get to change the air conditioning compressor because it was dragging everything down because it's about ready to go out.
Anyway,
So that's all a lot of fun.
I'm serious. Like, we bought a new to us truck, and everything on it is now new.
Yeah.
We've replaced literally everything in the last year.
So luckily the engine in it is actually a bulletproof engine. So we don't have to worry too much about that.
It's just all the other bits and bobs.
It's all the bits and bobs on top
So
of it.
John says that he was harassed on horseback by an almost 10-foot tall black Bigfoot in the Three Sisters Wilderness area.
Ooh.
It threw a tree that it uprooted over my head from 50 feet away.
Wow.
And my question for you is, did you get a picture? Did you film the event? Because people here could say, why don't you take a picture?
Yeah.
Why don't you pull your phone out and take a picture of that Bigfoot trying to kill you?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't not believe you because one of the reports we got here was a log being thrown end over end at a car windshield.
Yeah.
So anyway, hey Doug, it's good to see you there. It happened in 1980. Well, okay. So you probably weren't going out with your little Kodak Instamatic 110, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, but anyway, but yeah, one of the investigations we're going to do here is down the road here, this end over end log being hurled at
somebody's windshield in a Jeep.
Yep. So
and that was recent. That was
just like a month ago.
Yeah, a month ago. So that's one of the investigations we're going to go check out. We're going to go check out that area and see if I can find that log. And then there's some sounds on the reservation. We need to go see if we can get some sound recordings that's happened up on the reservation. That happened like 3 days ago. And then I've got a video it's like last year, but
this area.
It's from this area, and we're going to take the gentleman out he's going to show us the exact spot. We're going to try to recreate the video ourselves and get a good idea of how big the thing was. So
yeah.
So it's one of those videos where we have like 4 frames of the creature, but
that's usually how it goes. Yeah. So hey Raptor.
Hey Raptor.
Hope we're as good as we can be. It's been a tumultuous and eventful month for the Violets. We're ready to not be quite so excited in our lives.
Yeah.
Just say we need some uneventful months where I won't repeat what he said today.
Yeah.
Just one day. Just one day with nothing happening.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Not quite how he put it, but I can't say that. Wait, has it been long enough for me to drop an F-bomb?
No, we don't usually do that on our channel.
We're a family-friendly channel.
Family-friendly. And if you're here, like I said, if you're new here and there's a drone in the background, I hope you can hear us fine because we're running a generator.
The power went out.
Yeah, we have no power where we're at. And
that's not normal. We're at a really nice campground, but the power went out at about 10:30 this morning, and they still have not gotten it fixed.
Yeah, and we ran fine all day long on our solar panels.
They were champions.
Yes, until the sun went behind the trees, and then we had to start our generator. So
well, at least we know the inverter works.
Yeah. Yep. So let's see. All right, so we're going to play a quick commercial, and then we're going to get back and we're going to show you a video, and we're going to talk about that a lot.
You are watching Squatch America.
Hello, Bigfoot enthusiasts. Hannah here from Squatch America, and we want to welcome you to Cloudcroft, New Mexico, where mystery meets adventure. Introducing the Bigfoot Encounter Museum, the ultimate destination for all cryptozoology enthusiasts and adventure seekers. Step into a world shrouded in legend and intrigue, where the mysterious stories of Bigfoot come to life. Our museum is a treasure trove of artifacts, exhibits, and interactive displays that delve into the fascinating history and folklore surrounding this legendary creature. Get ready to embark on an immersive journey through time, exploring the captivating tales of eyewitness accounts, footprint casts, compelling documentaries, and so much more. You'll be amazed as you unravel the mysteries and evidence surrounding this elusive and enigmatic creature. Whether you're a skeptic or a true believer, the Bigfoot Encounter Museum in Cloudcroft, New Mexico promises an unforgettable adventure for all ages. Come and create lasting memories as you immerse yourself in the world of Bigfoot lore. Plan your visit today and uncover the secrets of Bigfoot at the Cloudcroft Bigfoot Encounter Museum. Your journey into the unknown awaits. Cloudcroft Bigfoot Encounter Museum. Discover the legend, experience the mystery.
All righty. So, John said he could have shot it, but he only had a 30-30. I've heard sayings that that'll only tick it off more. So don't worry about it.
All right, so we have got some. Do we need to say anything before we go into that?
Oh, the video. So here's what you're going. Here's what you're about to see. A gentleman was driving around up here where we're at right now, and he ran across this big elk. There is this area is got some huge elk.
Apparently, according to Scott Goebel, our hunting, who used to be a hunting outfitter, said that this is the best elk country in the country.
In the country, yeah. They've got elk.
In fact, I heard some bugling the other night.
Yep. It's kind of early for that, but they're getting there.
Starting to get a little riled up.
Yeah. So anyway, he saw this big elk, so he jumped out of the car and got as close as he could. Filmed it vertically, folks. Turn your phone sideways. When you're filming stuff with your phone, don't do this. Do this, okay? Just.
Good to see you, Terry. Thank you. It is good to be back. Hopefully there will be nothing else to interrupt us knock on every wood surface in the house.
Yep. And so, and good to see you, Terry. Scott said, yes, it is. So what you're going to see is
hold on. John Manning said earlier the tree was about 5 inches in diameter. It screamed and howled right next to us. I saw it very good in the daylight.
Wow.
There were 6 other witnesses too. Well, SquatchAmerica.com. Go to our report form and send that story.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
We need to get that in our database.
Yep. All right. So back to.
So what you're going to see in the video is I took the original video and I'm going to show you the clip, the important part of the clip, the 3 or 4 frames that you need to see. And then it's going to show you that over and over, but it's going to slow it down each time so you get a better view. And then at the end, we'll show you what the original video looked like.
And are we going to tell them what the original video said it was capturing, but it wasn't capturing what it thought it was capturing?
Well, right. I just said he was filming the elk.
I know he was filming the elk, but that's not what the title of the video is something like.
Oh, the one when he put it on YouTube.
When he put it on YouTube, but it was the sound.
Yeah, it was a sound that he heard, but I think the sound was the elk myself.
Yes,
but we're still working on that.
The point is, what he thought he captured was not what he captured.
Yeah.
Which is usually the case.
He
thought he captured a Bigfoot sound, a Bigfoot growling or howling or something, and that is not what he captured.
So here we go. Yeah, that's where you need to look.
This is like super slow mo.
It is frame by frame. So I think that was the slowest I made. Here's a zoom in on it. So whenever you zoom in on something, you lose definition. So now you got the blurry blob squatch going right now. Because he wasn't filming it, he was just filming the elk. So here's the video with the audio.
They already bagged like several we saw where we're camping. He is huge. Beautiful animal. Look at that. Never been up so close to him.
Yeah, second here, he's going to slip on some gravel and fall, and that alerts the elk to his presence.
That figures. You don't have a license. You don't put in for it. That's usually what happens. Wow, there's more over here. Man, there he is. His horns are just shining.
Yeah, that's when he slipped, and that's when the elk saw him. The elk's looking at him right now, and you'll hear him huff at him.
Wow. There they go. There he goes.
Don't kick us out.
All right. I
So,
wonder which one's better. That one. Okay. So I wonder if I can back this up just a few frames. I'm trying really hard.
so when Scott had me listen to, and the thing is, and this guy's name is Paul, really nice guy. We loved talking to him the other day. He posted this as hearing a Bigfoot growling or huffing, and his friend had slowed it down so they could really hear it. That was more than likely the elk huffing.
Yeah.
But when it slowed down, when you slow down an elk huff, it does sound. What is the dog doing?
I don't know.
Daisy, knock it off. I think she's trying to go turn off the generator.
Yeah.
Well,
power yet.
Anyway, yep, still no power. It is 6:30 Mountain Time. No power yet. They promised it back at 4:00 today.
Yeah.
Anywho, hi Gordon, nice to see you. Anyway, so he posted this as a Bigfoot sound. I'm not sure if he knew there was an actual
No, I think he did catch it. He told me about it.
Okay.
Later on, he noticed it.
Yeah.
But he had his friend slow it down, and some of the sounds he heard, I think, was a slow version of the elk huffing.
Yes.
But he also told me that he thought he heard something later in the video. So I'm going to break the audio apart and send that to our good friend David Ellis from the Olympic Project and let him take a listen and see what he thinks.
Yeah, John said that Squatch was hunting that elk. I faced the one I saw. It was running as fast as a horse could run. They are able to run down prey easy.
Yes, they are. We've heard many stories about them running deer down. And yeah, it was probably hunting that elk, or they might have been a cow elk or a calf even further in the woods there that Paul didn't see or video that the Bigfoot was probably interested in. And then when Paul fell and the elk started huffing at him, that's when Bigfoot said, "Oh,
I gotta get out."
Yeah, I got to get out.
So anyway, that's it. That's some pretty good footage, and I'm actually impressed with how close Paul was to that elk.
Yeah,
with a phone.
With a phone, yeah, he got pretty close to that elk.
Yeah, so that's someone who knows his way around the woods pretty well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what else? Now we're at let's see, 6:24. 24 minutes after the hour.
So we're going to be taking Paul out, and we're going to be doing a video interview with him. We're going to try to recreate this if we can. Hannah can do this and be the elk. So yeah, there you go. So, and then I'm gonna try to hike up there and see if I can find
The spot
the
and
spot where that Bigfoot was.
do the lasers and the measurements and all
Yeah,
those
see if we can
things.
figure out how big that it was.
All that archaeological crap.
All the science.
Weird science.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what? 35 minutes to go, babe.
So let's do a little Q&A, folks. Do you want to?
Go ahead, throw your questions in the chat. We
Yeah.
haven't talked to you in a long time.
So we can do a little Bigfoot Q&A. Like I said, we've got a lot of stories up here. Heck, I even had a story from one of the police officers up here. I was surprised how many people came and talked to us. So we were at the Bigfoot Encounter Museum, the commercial we were in. We were there over the weekend
On Saturday.
Yep. We were there Sunday too, but
We got rained and winded out.
yeah, we had set up our little canopy outside and was meeting and greeting people and talking and on Saturday, and then we set up Sunday morning, and all we did was hang on to our canopy to keep it from blowing away because thunderstorms are coming through pretty bad. So
It's actually kind of weather-wise, it was a miserable Labor Day weekend.
yeah, it was. It was funny because we had a lot of people up here camping. I'm surprised at actually now there's been nobody up here. People pulled out after Labor Day, going back to their lives probably.
In fact, yesterday in town, it's like the whole town shut down after the holiday weekend.
Yeah. So it was crazy up here on that weekend, though. There was a lot of people camping. This here is kind of the camping destination for most of the people from El Paso. We're only, what is it?
2 hours?
2 hours from El Paso down the road here. And so, in fact, a lot of people who live up in this area, when they really want to go to the big city and go shopping, they drive to El Paso.
So Greg said about the video, it was strange that the bull didn't react to what's behind it.
It didn't. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
That's not the first. In fact, when you showed it to Nikki, she was interested in that as well, wasn't she?
Yeah. So, yeah, so that was very interesting. Let's see if I can bring that back up here. And if I see if I can skillfully back this up just a little bit more. A couple frames. Okay, where does the elk?
I don't even see the elk right now.
I keep missing it. It's hard to catch it right there. I wonder if I can do that. Nope, it won't let me do that. Let's see. I'm not good at this part.
Just start.
If I go back to slow motion part, I can.
So just do that.
Here we go. Well, you see that I'm not quite there yet. Let's play it from here and see if I can. There. So, I can't use my pointer on this. So you can see the elk horn sticking up and the Bigfoot behind it, but the Bigfoot's quite a ways away. You know how small it looks. It's way up the hill from it. And I think the elk was more concerned about Paul, who was standing right there next to him, because he turned around and huffed at him, and the elk was trying to walk away. So I think the elk was more concerned about the human standing right next to them than the Bigfoot that was way up the hill away.
Yeah.
That he probably didn't even hear, because I turned the audio all the way up on that thing with my headphones, and I couldn't hear.
Couldn't hear any
footsteps or anything up on the hill. I could just hear the elk and Paul breathing. So,
Raptor, I don't know why your comment was blocked, but we do know that social media likes to block things.
Yeah, it depends on what you said.
Yeah.
Facebook's been doing that, and they're getting worse about it.
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, and let's see. Did the elk look back up the hillside when he walked away? Let's see. That's the end of it. There, let's watch
Yeah.
at full speed right here. The elk just looked at Paul, huffed at him, turned, and there's actually another huff that happens right about there. He leaned his head back, walked through the trees, and then you see the Bigfoot, and it kind of turned his head a little bit back. I can see kind of barely.
Yeah.
Um,
And to answer John's question, who asks, have we heard the samurai chatter?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yes, we have. Yeah. So,
Two of his friends heard a lot of it in Cascadia while cooking Johnsonville brats because, you know, Bigfoot brats and beer. Come on. Why
yeah.
not? They know it's tasty.
Yeah. So,
anyway, there are, we never considered New Mexico as being a really squatchy area, but this place is
different. We're in what's called the Lincoln National Forest. It's just outside of
It's up the
okay,
mountain.
so let me talk about
the area.
the area. Okay, we're in the Lincoln National Forest, kind of famous for, there's a little town up the road here where Billy the Kid was from. You know, shoot 'em up cowboy guy.
Kind of an outlaw guy.
Yeah. So where the Lincoln National Forest is, on one side, you've got White Sands Missile Base, military missile base, and Alamogordo, and the Space Museum. And that was where they did all the experiments on everything before they launched people into space to go
That's
to
where
the moon.
Ham, the chimpanzee, came from.
Yeah, that's where they launched the first chimp, into space. And
He has a little shrine there. I think you can leave pennies and stuff.
yeah, and White Sands Missile Range, and behind that is where they were testing the first nuclear bombs. All that stuff happened here. And then you go up this really steep hill. It's like 5%
Do
grade.
not take your trailers up that hill. It's all bad.
It's all bad. It's 17 miles of windy, straight up hill, nonstop.
Don't ask us how we know how bad it is.
Yeah. So, but then on the other side of this mountain, so you go up this mountain, and where we're at is at 8,628 feet. So there's some serious altitude up here.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, where we're at right now, we've been here for about a week. I'm starting to get a little more acclimated, but we were having some
We had a little bit of altitude stuff.
altitude stuff happening.
Yeah,
you
we're a
know,
little tired.
little huffy, little hard breathing, walking up the hills and stuff. But we're getting
A little tired.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so, and if you go down the other side of the hill here, guess where you're at? Carlsbad Caverns and Roswell, New Mexico. So
you've got the space race on one side and aliens on the other.
And Bigfoot in the middle.
Yeah, it's really a fantastic place.
Yeah.
And but very, very well forested.
Oh yeah. In fact, I'm surprised. It is greener forest here than it would be in like
Tollgate.
in Tollgate right now, or in Sumter, or on the Cascades in Oregon.
It's way cooler.
Oh yeah.
I think the high here today was 72.
Yeah.
So
but you drive down that mountain
and it's 90.
and it's 90
or hotter.
yeah, in Alamogordo. But come up here, it's beautiful. And so Raptor says, never did believe the UFO and Bigfoot thing. Just my opinion. I have my opinion also, my friend. So what was I going to say now?
Alamogordo, hot
up here. Nice. Oh yeah. And there's up here in this area. So Bigfoot needs three things: water, cover, and food, calories.
It's got all of it.
It's got all of it. There is running rivers up here. I meant a lot of water year round. Water just comes up out of the ground up here. In fact, right down the hill where we're at, there's a creek that's crystal clear and just boiling with water. I mean, it's running hard.
Running through all the tons of cattle pasture here.
Yeah,
For grass fed, pasture raised,
yeah.
and grass finished beef.
Yeah.
I had some of that
Yeah.
for dinner tonight.
So, so they got water, they got cover. This is it's not a dense forest like Maine or something like that, but it's an Eastern Oregon
At least.
least forest. It looks a lot like Eastern Oregon, to be honest
Only
with you.
greener.
Only greener. Yeah.
It's higher in elevation than most of the
Yeah.
Oregon forest. I don't know why the dog is freaking out.
I don't know. There's probably people outside. Anyway, so there's that. And for food, we got
Elk,
deer, elk,
cows.
Yeah, there's well, they got free range cows out here. But also they have wild pigs up here.
Oh yes, wild hogs all over the place.
They got wild hogs.
And wild strawberries and cherries.
Wild cherries. That's the weirdest thing.
I've never heard a thing.
I never heard of wild cherries in the woods, but they got wild cherries here too. So, and wild strawberries. They don't have huckleberries. I asked one of the guys on the reservation, "You have huckleberries?" He looked at me like, "What's a huckleberry?" I'm like, "Okay." So apparently that's not a thing here. But wild cherries, wild strawberries everywhere. And like I said, lots of meat. You got deer, elk, hogs. Of course, all the other small game, birds.
Yeah.
Grouse.
Hey, Doc Ock, good to see you. It's okay that you're late. I got a dog going crazy, but we're glad you made it anyway. And I'm sorry I didn't send anything out. It's just getting back in the saddle here has been a challenge.
Yep. It has. So.
Trying to find a schedule and a structure after all of it's happened is like, oh my gosh. But we're working on it.
Yeah, we're getting there. Upcoming events, what's coming up?
I really honestly have no idea. To be quite truthful, we are scheduled to be here until October 2nd.
Yeah.
We may be leaving early. We may be staying longer. We don't know.
Yeah, it depends on some of the folks here that
we're in a waiting place where we're waiting to see what direction life takes us. We're not quite sure. So your guess is as good as ours.
Things are kind of up in the air right now, but we did just get an invitation. We're going to find out if that's going to come through. If that does, it's going to be crazy because we'll have to bolt back to Oregon for a Bigfoot festival. I'm not going to say anything more until we know if that's real. If that's
a go, and then we might be bolting back here, or we might be bolting to Idaho, or we might be. We literally have no idea.
Yeah. All we got on the schedule right now is May 10th. Is it?
Something like that for Wisconsin.
We're going to be in Wisconsin for a Bigfoot festival with. Oh my gosh, his name just went.
Barnaby.
Yeah. So
Barnaby. Yep. So anyway, everything between then and now is kind of a crapshoot. We have no idea what the heck we're doing.
Yeah. So, but we are going to keep squatching. So you guys can keep watching. Hey, that's our key thing. Anything else we have on the list?
No, absolutely nothing.
Okay. So any more? Oh, look. John Manning says there are now
wild pigs are now in the Willamette Valley near Coburg. That's by Eugene.
That's by Eugene in Springfield. Yeah.
And up north past Dayton.
Wow.
Boy,
How did they get there? From California, probably.
Go shoot you some sausage, man.
Yeah.
In California, if they are, I don't know how when we were in California, if wild pigs were destroying your property, you could just shoot them and butcher them.
Yep.
So, and that was the best pork I've ever eaten in my life.
Yeah, we used to go down to Eureka. Yeah, I think it's Eureka, California. When I was a kid, I had some cousins that lived there, and we'd go hog hunting every year in Eureka. And he'd come up and go elk hunting with us in Oregon. So that was always fun. So anyway, we're going to go find us a Squatch here.
Hopefully this weekend.
Yeah, and we're going to be hanging out the museum a little bit. We're going to be helping them out. The museum part needs a little
rearranging.
so I'm going to help them with that.
All right. What else do we got? Nothing. I got new glasses. What do y'all think?
And I got new glasses so she can see.
They are my bionic glasses made
Yeah.
by betterspectacles.com, endorsed by Glenn Beck himself.
Yeah.
I get absolutely no kickback for saying this,
Mhm.
but he says the best way you can thank him is to, refer. So if you want to spend $1,300 on your glasses, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
My eyeballs are so bad. This is what I was forced to do. No Costco glasses for me.
Right.
I had to go with the
Right,
expensive bionic ones.
Yeah, when she turns in her prescription to most labs that do glasses and stuff,
They just laugh at me.
they laugh at her. They go like, yeah, there's no way we can do this.
And these glasses took 2.5 months to get done. So
Yeah.
but I actually see really well. They are AI infused technology.
Yeah.
And the prescription follows my eyes.
So Doug asked, are we going to be at the Yakima Con?
No.
I probably not. I forgot what the date is on that one. I saw posters and stuff for it. But we're probably not, because if we get this gig we're working on in Oregon, that'll be the first week.
That'll be the first weekend of
Weekend of October, and that's on the Oregon coast. And then the second week of October,
You're going hunting.
I'm going hunting. Not Bigfoot hunting.
Hunting.
Deer hunting.
Are you actually going to bring home some meat this time? Have
try.
I got hunting stories for you folks?
Yeah.
It's like, what do I say? It's like Bud and Lou in the forest.
Yeah.
Bud and Lou go hunting.
Yeah. So
And those of you who are our age know who Bud and Lou are.
So my son and I, and
his little sister,
my youngest daughter, is it's her first hunting trip. Well, her first deer hunting trip. She's been hunting a couple times
for whistle pigs.
Well, yeah, that, and she went wolf hunting once, but she almost died because we took her to Arco, Idaho, which is eastern Idaho area wolf hunting, and we did it in December, and it was 16 below zero, and she thought she was going to die. So
Katie is my people.
Yeah,
he's my people. So Janice asks, did you ever post anything about your experiment on the lake with the trail cameras off of Wendigo Pass?
That's a great story.
Yes,
that's a great story. So in fact, I forgot to write that down. That was one of the things I was going to talk about. And
see, it's where the catastrophes began.
Yes, it's where the catastrophe. So if you watched our last video that I posted, it was just after my daughter had passed away, but I had already loaded it. So if you're watching our videos, I'm probably, well, I'm not right now, but probably, 2 or 3 weeks ahead of you guys. So so that launched on its own. It was me and Scott Goebel, who's in the chat. We had a nice long weekend planned out to do some Bigfooting.
That was the weekend that you couldn't walk.
Yep, at our place we call the playground, where we had interactions with a family of Bigfoot there for over 4 years now. Scott, well, Scott has. It's been 2 for me, but so we took our Operation Pond Scum, I called it, our trail cameras that have 360-degree view that floats in these little ponds in the middle of nowhere. So anything coming to the water, we would be able to get a video.
You made a trail camera pontoon boat.
Yeah, I made a trail.
Wait for that. We're back.
We're back. Also, Starlink, we're in the middle of nowhere too. So anyway.
Actually, there are a lot of trees here.
Yeah, but we get the little satellite gaps once in a while
when it switches.
Yeah. So anyway.
So you got up there. Stop looking at the chat.
So we got up there. We got our trail cameras deployed. We've got some cognitive tests for Bigfoot deployed. We got all that stuff set up. Scott and I did catch what I don't know would have to be called an unidentified flying object on video if you
A
wanted to watch it.
UAP.
No, I'm not going there. They're UFOs. I'm not changing for nobody. Anyway, so we might have caught that. If you go watch that last video we posted, all that's in there. And then after we got everything deployed, the next morning, or that evening, we had a thunderstorm come through and set a whole bunch of fires in the area. We had two. We had one right across from our campground and one down the road a little ways.
Scott's reminding you that you got tracks as well.
Oh yeah, we found tracks as well. Go watch the video. We found tracks, and so we got Operation Pond Scum in the water, and then the next morning, the Forest Service pretty much evacuated everybody from the area. So, and then we haven't been able to get back in there. The fires are even out, and they still have officers, forest rangers at the road.
The forest has been closed for over a month.
Yeah, sitting there. So two things. One, I don't think the fires got to where our cameras were, so I think they're safe there. We have a fire watch thing on my phone that I watched the outlines of where the fires were.
It was burning all around it.
They were around it, so I think fire-wise, the cameras are safe. They're still there, but the Operation Pond Scum was floating in the middle of a little pond, and they had helicopters with those scoop buckets picking up water out of the ponds and dumping them on the fires. So I hope my cameras aren't hanging in a tree somewhere dumped out of a bucket.
You may get trail camera footage of it being scooped up
in flight.
So,
Yeah.
but you know, at worst, it's a complete loss, and we'll never see any of them again.
Yeah.
At best,
they're
it's gonna
still
be
there.
Awesome footage.
There's going to be awesome footage. They're still going to be there, I hope. So there's that. But of course, we're not in the area anymore, but good old Scott Goebel in the chat here lives right there, and he can be right up. He's went up to check him, and I think he said the forest is still closed.
Yeah. And Doc Ock, I thought the same thing, that usually they get that water from larger things.
Yeah, and there's a bigger lake right there too. Diamond
Yeah.
Lake is huge. So
was Pond Scum on Linda or Lamolo?
Lamolo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey Charles, good to see you.
Yeah.
It's been a rough, bumpy ride, but we are back.
Cool.
So anyway, that's the status of Operation Pond Scum. We hope to see it again.
Hopefully it's still floating on the pond, and we still can't go get it because the Forest Service won't let us into the area. And even the area where it's at, wasn't burned, but you have to go past the edge of a burned area to get to it, so they won't let us in there.
Yep. So anything else for the good of the order?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Scott said they try to grab the water closest to the fire, so
could have been.
I mean, this pond, it's a little pond.
It's more than a puddle, but less than a lake.
Yeah, so you could get water out of it, and it's big enough for that. And it does have fish in it, so.
Poor fish. How many fish get fried when they do that?
Yeah.
So sad. Now, if they used a sieve-like bucket where it scooped up the water but left out the fish, that would be.
Charles M. said there was scuttlebutt, that something happened to y'all. I want to know what the scuttlebutt was. I didn't hear it.
Well, if you're talking about our daughter passing away, that did happen to us. That did
happen to us. Our daughter did pass away, and then we had to deal with, all that. So, but
as you can see, we are hale and healthy.
Yep. So that was a month ago, and plus then we had to make a beeline to New Mexico because we had obligations. So
And that's why you need to follow us on Facebook. So
Yeah.
you can go to Squatch America on Facebook, or friend me, Hannah Burkle Violet, or Scott Violet on Facebook, and you can. That's actually, at least, yeah, even on Facebook, I was slowing down just because, what do you do? What do you do? But that's the best way. Our real time lives are lived on Facebook, and you can see where we are and what we're doing it.
Yeah.
So, but now I want to know what the scuttlebutt is. Okay, here we go. I'm going to post something. You can see us at my Facebook is Hannah Burkle Violet. Scott's Facebook is is Scott Violet, or you can go to Squatch America, all on Facebook. Send us friend requests. We got you.
Yep. Yep. So I think mine is getting really close to the 5,000 person limit. So.
And then you become a public figure and can only have followers. And will that make you happy finally?
No.
I didn't think so. He's a bottomless pit of emptiness and despair.
Yeah, right.
Anyway. Anyway, yep, you can check us out on Facebook. But yeah, but now what are people saying? What's the scuttlebutt? And by the way, she is in a much better place, Charles.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's true. And I was the first one to say, Kristen would be the first person to tell us, get off your arses and go live your lives. Don't sit around here and wail and moan for me.
Yeah.
So anyway, so what's the scuttlebutt? Come on, put it in the chat. I want to know. What
I'm waiting.
people who don't have lives of their own are making up about us.
Yeah.
What kind of
that's
drama?
my favorite stuff.
What type of drama do we get to do a whole episode about?
Yeah.
Those are my most unfavorite YouTubes, by the way. People complaining about what other people say. But I'm so freaking curious.
Yeah. So we're fine. We're still alive. We're still squatching. We're actually squatching right now.
Yep.
In fact, we've got the next 3 to 4 weeks booked with in the woods stuff. So we're going to be spending the next 3 or 4 weeks in the woods doing our thing.
And editing video about it.
Editing video about it.
So 2 days in the woods, 5 days on the computer.
Yeah.
That's how that
For
goes.
those of you who don't know, and I want to thank you. Somebody said that was a really great video that I put out. And I really appreciate that. I work hard on that. There it is. Yeah, the last video we just put out. And I really appreciate that. But for those of you who don't know, filming it's one thing. That's the kind of the easy part, actually. Editing it into something that people can understand is the harder part. Every 10 minutes of video is about 10 hours of shooting and editing. So just remember that.
Okay, so here's the scuttlebutt. He heard it was a death, but he was under the impression that it was one of us due to overdose? What?
Well, one, we don't do drugs
or anything. We don't even drink.
Yeah.
Okay, occasional beer.
Okay, I'll have an occasional beer, but you can't see through it. I mean, a dark, like stout Guinness kind of beer.
And it takes him an hour to drink one.
Yeah, and I'll have one beer maybe a month or 2 months. And
I've even given up my cider because it's bad for my thyroid.
Yeah.
So no,
it wasn't us.
I mean, come on. When you're in pain, what's my first question? Did you take something for it? And what do you say?
No.
All right. So that's that. Okay. So just so you know, we are like totally.
Fentanyl.
Oh Lord Jesus
geez.
Christ.
No, we don't drink. We don't smoke. We don't do drugs. My daughter passed away from a pulmonary embolism, which means a blood clot in her lungs. She had suffered with terrible asthma her whole life. So that's what she passed away from. And no, we're still here.
Yeah. So guys, yeah, follow us on Facebook. I
Yeah.
mean, seriously. And don't hesitate. If you've got a question, hey, I haven't seen you guys on YouTube in a while. Where are you? Just reach out. We will answer.
And Charles said,
Accidental related to veteran issues in the war. Well, he's got those.
I got
but-
those, but we deal with them the right way. We actually take vets out into the woods bigfooting with us. That helps me as much as it does them. Just having other veterans to sit and speak our own language. In fact, kind of funny. We got up here to Cloudcroft, and one of the new gals that we hadn't met that was working at the Bigfoot Museum, her nickname is Sarge, and she was
She's a master sergeant
master sergeant, yeah,
from the army.
And a jump master, and
I could not pry them apart.
we were just speaking words that nobody else could understand, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Scott says even in pain you still squatch.
Yep,
Yes, he does.
yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. I'm starting to piece things together here. So yeah, my last video I posted, my knee was really bad because of issues from being in the military. I have what's called jumper's disease. I've had jumper's knee. And what it is, it's a tendonitis caused by really hard impacts on your legs. I have 287 parachute jumps in the military, and the downward draft of the parachutes we had back in the day was roughly 30 miles an hour. So you're hitting the ground 30 miles an hour down, and whatever the wind's blowing that way. So
after 287 of those,
my knees are
30 some years later, there are times where his knee just swells up like a watermelon.
every once in a while, and it comes from if I'm climbing stairs a lot, and
or if he's sitting on his backside editing video a lot and then decides to go out for a 12-mile hike.
Yeah, that
because
kind of stuff.
He doesn't do it regularly. So
that's where my knee started hurting really bad, and
then he gets really grumpy.
And then we also have talked about on this channel why we take vets out. In fact, I got my Fallen Outdoors hat on. I don't know if you can see that. It says Fallen Outdoors. Yeah, that's the group I belong to that takes veterans out hunting and fishing and bigfooting. And we do that because we have talked about this on the channel. 22 vets every day take their lives. And
so, hey, do we have a link for do we have something for the Fallen Outdoors? Because you can go to the Fallen Outdoors
on Facebook.
We donate money every month towards their suicide prevention fund, and that's actually some of what your Patreon and YouTube money goes to support. It supports
right by watching the videos or becoming a member on Facebook or a member on Patreon. That's where the money goes.
And by the way, speaking of Patreon is changing their terms of service effective November. So we are working on transferring all of our memberships to our website so that you will come directly to our website instead of being on Patreon or maybe even Facebook. Because if you didn't know, they take 30% of everything you donate.
Well, it's 12 now, but coming up.
Well, YouTube is already 30%.
Yeah.
And they're going to start charging 30% on Patreon. So we are working on transferring all of our membership stuff to our website, and we will just have our own private membership community on squatchamerica.com. So anyway, so just so you know, heads up, I got till November, right? Okay, so what was our closest or scariest encounter? I think it was granite myself.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know about you.
That was probably the scariest one. Probably wasn't the closest.
But it was scary.
My closest encounter was 200 feet away. I saw a juvenile and an adult staring at me through the trees. I've got pictures. You can go back and look at my videos. But the scariest one was probably, we were up in Granite, Oregon, which is way up in the mountains in Eastern Oregon. In the middle of the Forest Service land on one section of private land that the Forest Service never got, kind of deal. And we heard probably the most terrifying screams in the middle of the night that we've ever heard in our
It
lives.
shut the entire forest up.
I mean, there were wolves howling, coyotes yipping, elk,
A herd of juvenile elk,
bugling and chattering,
frogs,
yeah.
frogs and crickets and everything.
And then the scream happened, and it was
it was a three. There was a scream like here, and then a scream there, and then a scream over here, and everything went dead silent. And we weren't told. In fact, I was wondering if I'd ever get any sleep because the wildlife was being so rude and inconsiderate of the humans on site. But it shut the entire forest down, and there was not even Scott and I woke like wide awake, and we didn't even turn over the rest of the night. It literally made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. It was not a mountain lion.
No, not 3 of them anyway. So
yeah, so that was scary, but not like terrifying. So like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing we heard was the grouse thumping their chests at 6 a.m. when the sun started coming up.
Yeah.
Yep, all the animals said.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because obviously they were keeping Squatch from sleeping too.
Yep.
So we've now passed the top of the hour.
We did it.
Scuttlebutt does it every time.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's another thing we're going to be doing here in Cloudcroft. And what's it? It's Hill sometime. Mayhill.
Mayhill.
Yeah. In the Cloudcroft Mayhill area, we're probably within the next week or two setting up an outing, maybe a veterans one. As soon as we find
a spot
and get it all worked out. New Mexico's a little different. Well, actually, it's the Forest Service, so
there are fewer state regulations for that sort of thing than there are in Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon has a lot of regulations taking people out in the woods.
They're not quite so regulated here.
Yeah,
so.
it's not so bad here, but you do have to get a, what is it called?
Is a commercial, like a commercial use permit?
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah, commercial use permit for the forest. That's it. So since we're not hunting anything with guns, that's a whole different story. So.
All right.
All right, folks. So
with that said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for an hour or so.
And we'll be back next week.
And for coming back so nicely after we've been away with no notice. And yeah. We really could feel the love during this last month, and we appreciate that. Please go, friend us on Facebook. That's the best way to keep in touch with us.
And say no to the drugs.
Yeah, just say no. Just say no. There, yeah. Oh, no political jokes on this.
Yeah.
Just, anyway, I could go there.
Yeah.
Anyway, just say no, and know that we say no to all those nefarious things. And just,
I do have a phone.
There you go. But does it have their website?
It does. They don't have a website.
Yes, they do.
Well,
yes.
Just go look up the Fallen Outdoors.
And you can donate there too if you want.
Yeah, if you want to donate directly to them, you can. Or if you donate to us, just know that
a large portion of that goes directly to them.
Well, it goes to their
suicide
prevention thing, and then the rest of the money we use
to take people out,
to pay for these permits and stuff to take vets out in the woods with.
Yeah. So, with all that, please remember that our job is to investigate the unexplained,
not to explain the uninvestigated.
Until next week, you keep watching.
And we'll keep squatching. Go out and find Bigfoot.
That damn Sasquatch.